Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 23 of Civilization 5 as France on Emperor difficulty. In this war with the Iroquois, trying to cut them down to size, it's going to be a little bit difficult because they do have a lot of bombers and I don't have any anti-air, which is certainly causing me some issues. I'm just doing all I can to chip away at them really. I don't have a lot of confidence in this particular game. I think I've made a few too many mistakes. I've got to a point where it's going to be quite difficult for me to recover it. He's actually willing to make peace, but we are going to refuse because he wants all of my cities. Now remember, I have only played one other game on Emperor difficulty, which although according to the game I won, I technically didn't because somebody else beat me to the spaceship, but for some reason the game seemed to glitch and didn't count it and still allow me to go on and win. But yeah, it looks like Mombasa is going to fall now. Are they really going to continue bombing it even though it's already at 0 health? Do they even gain XP for attacking a 0 health city? I can't remember whether that actually still counts for XP. But now they're just bombing a city that is already fallen, which again is, I guess, is fine because it means they're wasting shots, and if they want to waste their great war bomber shots on Mombasa, then they can do. But the big problem that I've got is that the Iroquois are just going to be so far ahead of me in terms of tech and stuff like that. Yeah, no longer friends with Mombasa, lost gold from Mombasa, so Mombasa is now gone. We are going to lose. Oh, that's not our artillery, that's Ur's artillery. That's fine. I think they were trying to do a little bit of damage to Escalating. They didn't really get an awful lot done. And unfortunately, we've lost our pearls from Kabul because they did get pillaged by a Genoan unit. We don't have an awful lot of money in the bank either. I mean, I think Kabul are going to be able to hold their own because Genoa is really the only threat they've got, but it's still quite annoying. Enemy has been spotted near Addis Ababa. City connection established. We've built that road, which is quite nice. You're going to get targeting against naval units. Can't upgrade you to a battleship at the moment. Oh, hello. Any of your units that we can thin out, we will. Near Addis Ababa, which is all the way up. Oh, Cape Town's up there. Wow. They've taken that as well. Addis Ababa, you're up here. What have we got nearby that is problematic? Oh, Florence. It's a city-state unit. Well, we can just sit here and ping at you with a frigate, I suppose. That'll be the easiest way to kill these guys off. Units needing orders. You've got ahead and built that road there. That is now fine. Anything else useful you can build? I guess we could come down here and start getting a road built up to Lake Simcoe. We need to start trying to move some of these artillery in now. It is going to be difficult for them to all get to the front. We'll move the Great General forwards, covered by the Great War Infantry. We need to get a few more militaristic units as well. You're going to heal up. Now, Escalating is going to be a little bit more difficult to take because it's the other side of a river and there's a lot of hills and jungle around it, so that makes things a bit difficult. You want embassy, that's fine. Morocco has denounced the Iroquois, so maybe Morocco would be willing to go to war with them now. There's a possibility. The Sir still hasn't been completely wiped out, and the Iroquois is still at war with the Sir. Still at war. Get my words in the right order. Ah, now you're going to bomb my frigate, are you? Guess it was to be expected. Yeah, they do have a lot of bombers. And this is always the problem with the high difficulty levels. If the AI gets too far ahead of you in tech, it makes winning the wars very, very difficult. And you rely on winning the wars to cut them down to size because they can get ahead of you so easily. So we'll see where this game goes. If I do get to a point where I think that I'm definitely not going to win, I may abandon the game before it gets to the end. But until it's certain one way or another, I will carry on. Let us go to Morocco. Would you now be willing to declare war on Hiawatha? No, still not willing to do it. And still nobody has any luxuries that I would like. Enemy spotted near Addis Ababa. You've embarked, which is very nice because that allows me to sink you all the easier. I could upgrade it to a battleship, but then it wouldn't be able to do anything on this turn. And we've also got a privateer in here as well, haven't we? So we could just go ahead and just kill that with our privateer. Because it'll be out of bombardment range. So we'll just so that we don't have to deal with them later on. It's going to be worth it. So we're going to continue to try and move towards Equesime. Now you're within firing range, but unfortunately you're also within bombing range as well. Let's get you onto the other side of the river. You need to move over here. You're going to move forwards as well. Great General into the city. We will need to get vision before we can fire on it, so that is fine. You're going to just sleep there for now. You have finished that. Can you build another one anywhere? Well, that was next to the incense. I guess technically we could build one here. Let's go ahead and do that. Obviously, Addis Ababa is still puppeted at this point, so I don't have direct control over which tiles it's working anyway. But we're making a fairly decent amount of culture, so that is a good thing. You did somehow manage to survive. Let's just back away out of your bombard range. Not that there's a lot we can do with that unit. You're going to go on to alert. I should just fortify up, really. Let's go on to the next turn. Got another unit needing orders. You are going to build a road up to Lake Simcoe, because that will allow us to get artillery and things to the front a little bit more quickly. Catherine has completed the Kremlin. You see, Morocco's actually the same ideology as us now, but there again, he's also the same ideology as Hiawatha, so he's probably unlikely to ever want to go to war with him. You want to make peace. I am happy to do that. Will you give me your pearls as well? No, he won't. But let's go to peace, because I don't need to be at war with you. So, that's fine. Still got a few of these privateers around. Still got 2 of my trade routes left. They're probably caravans and internal trade routes. Still at -9 happiness. We do have a Circus Maximus on the build. Definitely need to try and get some more happiness from tenants if we can. We have most of the luxuries that are available, so I don't really think we can buy any more luxuries that are going to help us out. Placement spy has been recruited. Paris, you are going to build... I'm tempted to say let's start pumping things out, military units, but I think what we need to do here, I think we need to get a factory, and then we probably need to get a stadium. Assigned delegates, sciences funding, world ideology freedom. Well, that's not a bad thing for me, actually. So let's get world ideology freedom, because I'm the freedom ideology as well. So we'll commit to that. You can set up for an attack, but you can't actually see because you are too far away. Now, if you move in, you're going to be in danger. There's also hills in your way, whichever direction you go in. Yeah, you're kind of now stuck, which was a bit of a rookie error. You can move forwards. You can move on to this hill. We now have 3 artillery in range, but unfortunately we don't have vision. What I might do is take that spare spy and move him to Equesime. Now, it will take him a little bit of time to get there. But at least he will give me vision when he does. So you guys are all just going to go on alert, and hopefully you won't get destroyed on this turn. You're in my territory anyway, so you'll just heal up just by sitting there, so that's fine. So you just heal up. You can't heal up or do anything, really. I'm going to try and bring you, and this is going to be very risky, but I'm going to try and bring you around the bottom of the map. Hopefully, I might be able to get you back home in one piece, and we can use you to try and defend Kabul a little bit, possibly. Catherine has entered the information era. I think what I'm also going to have to do, and this is one of the things that I've always sworn off doing, because I've generally never liked using mods in games. I don't know, it's just... It's a bit of a... What's the word? It's a bit of a strange reason for it, but basically, I've always preferred to play the game as it was intended to be played. Even if the game has native mod support, for me, it's always been, I don't like to play the game using mods that adjust the game. Even when I played World of Warcraft and I was a healer, and people always used to say, oh, use this mod and that mod because it makes targeting people easier, and it makes, you know, you just have to press like one button on the keyboard and it heals the entire party. It's like, well, for me, that's not how to play the game. And I've always felt the same way about this, but a lot of people that play this use the enhanced user interface mod and info addicts, which seem to be more and more required as you do get into the higher levels. Now, we're not necessarily bothered about that. What I'd love to get is something that gives me happiness, but not an awful lot we could do. We could get +1 local happiness from... Can we get another level 2 tenant? Yes, we can. Watermill hospitals and medical labs. We're going to be building a lot of those. We don't have a lot of them right now. We're still in a minus, but that will help. Click to propose. We want to unban crab, because at least if we do that, I might actually be able to get some more happiness. Now then, still can't see a Quesame, even though I have a spy in there, which is a little bit strange. You can pillage, and you can move to the next tile. Now I can see a Quesame, which means we can actually start to fire at it. Does have quite a few bombers in there, so it's going to take us a while to do any significant damage. And this unit is going to get probably destroyed. Oh, found some marines. We definitely need to consider getting some more archaeologists out, possibly. Unit needs orders. You are going to attack this one, because it's the bigger threat. And then you're going to move down here and finish it off. And of course we still get XP for this as well. Only problem is these guys are kind of trapped up here, but they may be useful later on if we go to war against Russia. And I say if, I mean we will go to war against Russia. The only question is really going to be, will we survive long enough to go to war against Russia? There's every possibility that I'm either going to take significant losses in this war against the Iroquois, which, I mean, I'm going to lose these guys now. They have so many bombers here, and I don't have any anti-air at all, so I've got no way of protecting against this, really, which is quite annoying. They're probably going to start bombing my artillery now, which indeed they are. I don't have any anti-air at all. And they have a lot of bombers. And without a decent amount of artillery... And these artillery have upgrades, so... Again, I've derped a little bit here by putting this artillery so close. Okay, that's very unfortunate. At least you're now firing at her instead of me. We can... No, we can't see the city, which is strange, even though we've got a spy in there. Fishing boat has been destroyed by a marauding city-state caravel. That was very nice of it. United Nations, Railroad, no longer friends with Samarkand. Orleans can fire on something that doesn't even have an icon for whatever reason. At least you're down. Assign delegates, choose host, choose myself. I won't actually get it, but we'll do it anyway. Unit needs orders. You can come over there and probably build another mine. You were building a road. We can actually start building railroads now, but let's just concentrate on going ahead and getting everything connected up first. Paris, can you purchase for me any sort of anti-aircraft gun? No. We could get a triplane, and we could put it in Lake Simcoe and put it on intercept. So let's give you interception and interception 2. Still can't see a Quesame. So let's just back up slightly with these artillery. We'll just set them up just in case they do get an opportunity to shoot at something. We can probably finish that guy off now. We'll heal you up. It might actually be a good thing when this series does end, because at the moment I've got so many different things that I'm trying to record. I just don't have the time to do all of the series that I want to. And I won't say that Civilization 5 is one of my... Well, it is one of my least watched series on the channel, which is a shame. It is one of the games that I really do enjoy playing, but... I think, just to go off topic a little bit, one of the things that I decided when I started this channel a long time ago is I didn't really want to get into doing episodic Let's Plays, because to be quite honest, I can put out the first video of a series, and that video might get 200 or 300 views, and the second video might only get 150, the third might get 100, and then the sort of fourth, fifth, sixth videos will get less and less, to the point where the videos are only getting sort of 50 views each, and out of all the series that I do, Civilization and EU4 get some of the lowest views, which is a little bit of a shame. Look at that Bombardment 3, because that's what we are doing with it. We are firing at land units with it. Orleans has finished the Circus Maximus. We're still on -4 as far as unhappiness goes. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a stadium down here then. You're going to continue building the road. We're going to take this triplane and we are going to rebase it over to Lake Simcoe. We'll wait until we can see what's going on over here. You're going to set up just in case you need to. And you are going on to alert. You can stay on alert as well. You can stay on alert. You could stay on alert because I'm not going to waste any money upgrading you. You want to keep buying citrus off me, that's fine. Could always do with the money. Actually making a decent amount of money. Obviously we've lost a few units, so we're not paying out as much money in maintenance now, so that's a good thing. And he's bombing city-state units, so again, that's okay. I'm a little bit disappointed that Kaisel didn't get more involved. They've got loads of units up there, but they haven't really made any effort at all to come and attack. I guess they can't come through my borders, which is a little bit weird. Strange that you can't do open borders with city-states, but yeah, that makes life a little bit difficult. We do now have vision in Equesime, which is nice, which means we can take our triplane and we can put it in intercept mode. We can move forwards with our artillery so that they are within bombardment range. Leon has finished the hydro plant. Let's go ahead and get the stadium here. I would like to get science, but happiness is going to be the bigger issue. You're going to construct a mine. You're going to continue to try and skirt around the bottom of the Iroquois territory and get back home if you can. Well, that was a relatively quick turn, so on to the next we go. Russia's still posing and moving a lot of units around here. Catherine is plotting against me. Hardly a surprise. I think we'd established that quite a few episodes ago. So we're turn 314. We're approximately 3/5 of the way through the game. We are doing some interception there on bombers. Unfortunately, we only get one intercept, which doesn't help an awful lot. There's a massive amount of movement from 3 artillery there that have all come through from the Iroquois. Luckily, are having a bit of a pop at them as well. Finally, the city-states are actually doing something remotely useful. Obviously, I've got a decision to make now. It's a case of, well, do I attack the city or do I fire directly upon them? And I think I'm going to have to fire directly upon them. Paris has finished the factory, so let's go ahead and work on the stadium. Unit needs orders. Do we want to build a railroad from Paris to Lyon? Maybe we do. Let's start it at one end, though, and construct it the other way. Unit needs orders. Let's go ahead and attack some of these units here. Let's go ahead and attack this one first because we can probably destroy it. Then let's go ahead and use you guys to attack one of the remaining ones. Not doing an awful lot of damage here. We can go ahead and move out with this infantry. You can actually attack it. Well, you will kill it. Puts you into bombardment range, unfortunately, which was a stupid move. I should have attacked with the infantry first and then finished it off with the artillery, but hey-ho. On to the next turn, then. It definitely is still a learning curve for me on this difficulty, getting it right. I mean, it's like I watch Marbazir play, and he plays on Deity, and he doesn't win every game, and he does admit he doesn't win every game, but the vast majority of games that he does. But it's all about knowing the right order to build things in and to make sure you stay ahead of that curve. And it's difficult to do that, I think, without having something like Info Addicts, because Info Addicts allows you to always see at a glance exactly how well you're doing against the AI in terms of science and production and stuff like that. And I think the big problem that I've had is that and I always seem to make this mistake, I focused too much on Ethiopia. Ethiopia was small and weak, but had a lot of wonders, and my initial thought was, oh wow, Ethiopia have only got 2 cities. If I go and grab their capital, it's going to be fantastic, because it means I'll get their wonders. And I spent so much time and effort concentrating on Ethiopia, that I just let the Iroquois and Russia run away with the game. And it's quite possible now that I am just sort of too far back to be able to realistically catch up anymore. So, but I will carry on for a little bit and see what we can do. You are building a road out to Lake Simcoe, aren't you? So we'll carry on doing that. Does look like they've backed off a little bit with the artillery. So let's go ahead and continue fighting. Are moving a few units in, which is really nice. We'll continue fighting with you. You are going to pillage and then move back. I think it was already pillaged. I think I've just pillaged the road. Yeah, I had already pillaged that tile, so all I've done there is just pillaged the road, which wasn't all that useful. Units needing orders. We have a caravan. Well, that seemed safe enough before, so let's continue trading there. Still got a lot of unhappiness issues. You have finished that. Let's go ahead and railroad up these places then, as we've got a worker over here with not a great deal to do. Keep working our way south. We've nearly got back to our own territory. We're actually quite close now. We could just come up here and start helping out Kabul, possibly. So, on to the next turn. And that will be all that we will have time for on this video, because I'm running a little bit over time here. So, what are the Iroquois going to do this time? Yeah, they're still sending bombers out. Of course, I do still have my... It's strange that my... yeah, I was going to say, it was strange that my interceptors didn't intercept that first one. Unfortunately, it's not enough to take it down, and my artillery has taken a lot more damage. I can move the artillery into the city, though, to allow it to try and heal up. Can take another... can heal up the infantry a little bit as well. Are you going to finish off that artillery? No, oh no, there's a city-state unit there that we can't actually see because it doesn't have its icon above its head. Right, you've moved in a little bit too close for my liking, which is annoying. Kabul's still finishing off some units, which is nice. Bit of fighting on the ground. Of course, they've got, like, riflemen against infantry. So, that's not going to help them at all. And the enemy has been spotted near Lake Simcoe, which we expected. Let's start moving north up here. Let's go ahead and take this shot, because we can fire at you. Can't finish you off, unfortunately. We can move you into the city where you'll be a bit safer. We can take a shot with our artillery. And we will just fortify up with you. You guys are building a road. Though I should have just built railroads. Things are not going too well. I've been saying it for the last few videos now. I think that I have lost this game. I think I cocked up. I spent too much time fixating on Ethiopia at the beginning of the game. Ethiopia has now declared war on me. Wasn't expecting that, to be quite honest. So that's a little bit annoying. Not too sure how strong Ethiopia is right now. They are still currently at war with Russia as well. So Ethiopia may not be able to put up too much of a fight. It's probably because I've lost so many units. Ethiopia have taken that as a good time to come and attack me, basically. Wow, look at all these units that the Shoshone are reinforcing with. Obviously now they've finished their war with Assyria, because Assyria has now gone off the scoreboard. The Iroquois have decided that you know, all of their troops can now just come and rush me. And I'll be the first to admit, a better player could probably defeat them, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to take them out. I don't know if I've got the patience for it. I think that's my issue. I always used to consider myself a fairly patient person, but I think over recent years things have changed and I'm not as patient as I once was. And I really don't know if I can be bothered with this, but we'll carry on. Ethiopian unit up there. Now then, Ethiopia, I think, only have one city, although they are coming quite close to Addis Ababa, which is a little bit annoying. Let's go ahead and upgrade you to a battleship, just because you will have better range, and we will put We will put this privateer in Addis Ababa because it gives Addis Ababa a little bit more firepower. And you are doing railroads, I think. Yeah, you've already got the railroad there. On to the next one, building another piece of railroad there. Got another great scientist. He's out of moves, apparently. Must have been a faith purchase. You can stay there for now. Units needing orders. This artillery is supposed to be healing up, but I think we're actually going to need you to fire a couple of shots. We might actually lose Lake Simcoe again here, which is quite the possibility. Let's move up with this unit as much as we can. Going to try and use it to protect Kabul, although I'm not entirely certain Kabul need protecting. I don't think Kabul is in danger of losing its city. You're building a railroad also, so let's carry on with that. Yeah, I don't actually think Ethiopia have all that many units. They seem to I think Adwa might even be their only city. Unfortunately, I've got no way of taking it because it's not coastal, and it's... Austria has declared war as well. Yeah, now we have ourselves some problems. And again, I think this is also a case of the fact that I wasn't necessarily paying the greatest amount of attention to the other cities, the other civilizations, and actually getting them to fight against each other, which is what I should have been doing. So that is quite an annoying thing there. I think that I'm going to lose heavily now. I've screwed up way too much. And if one thing this does demonstrate, I mean, you've now seen me play several games on Prince difficulty, and you've seen me play a few games on King, well, lots of games on Prince difficulty, a fair few games on King difficulty, and then this is the second game on Emperor difficulty. And there seems to be a massive difference in difficulty between the two. There really does seem to be a huge jump in the difficulty curve. At least my battleship can fire at most of these units from off the coast, and that is quite nice. You're just going to stay there. We've now got Austrian units moving in, of course, which means I'm probably going to end up losing workers. Hurrah's got no way of defending itself. I've got no units up there, and Austria have a complete and utter army. We'll go ahead and pop the Great Scientist. We've got ballistics now. Did we have anything else queued up after ballistics? Guess we go into combustion into penicillin. Well, we don't really need marines, do we? Combustion into radar. Get better planes. It doesn't matter because we're not going to get that far. Look at Lake Simcoe. It's absolutely surrounded right now. The Iroquois really fought back hard. Just look at the units they've got. Yeah, I am going to go ahead here. And before this video goes on too long, because I'm only like 4 minutes into a video, I am going to go ahead and say that I'm going to give up here. It's not very often you will ever see me give up on a game unless it's buggy or crashes and has problems. But looking at how this is going to go, I know that I'm not going to win. There's no point me bashing my head against a wall trying to defeat these odds. So I'm going to call that the end of the game. I have lost. I screwed up. I spent far too much time fixated on Ethiopia. I let the Iroquois and Russia get out of hand, and I wasn't keeping my eye on the other civilizations, and they've massed up an army. They were left to their own devices, and they've now decided to go to war with me. And, you know, Austria's got a massive army coming up this way. Between them and Ethiopia, probably going to lose Addis Ababa and Harar again. Probably going to lose Lake Simcoe again to the Iroquois, and then they're literally right next door to Paris. I probably can defend Paris if I throw enough money and units at it. But I think I'm done with this particular game, and I probably should have restarted a long time ago. And I'll probably have a little bit more practice, maybe off camera, a few more practice games on Emperor, just to try and find where I'm going wrong and fine-tune the game. But as for this particular game, I've had it. I think that's obvious by the number of units that the AI has. Maybe I'll come back and try and do it with those mods and see if it actually does make the game any easier. But thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about the disappointing ending, but I hope you have enjoyed the series of Civilization 5 on Emperor difficulty. And yeah, it really does seem like a big step up in difficulty from King. But thanks a lot for watching all the same. I'll see you on the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.